and we have Buffalo Bills safety. Oh wait. This is good. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to get used to this. Okay, again, I'm out here, right? I kind of like, if you look at it, it's almost like the same type of my career. I lived in Buffalo my entire life. I packed my shit up. I said it's time for me to switch my career. You know, I came out here to South Florida, and and initially, you're pretty familiar with how Buffalo works, right? You know, it's we love you when you're there, but we hate you when you're gone. But you're one of those players where I definitely got a lot of messages from people saying, tell him I said thanks for his time here. He created some great memories here in Buffalo. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got Jordan Poyer, new safety of the Miami Dolphins, in the building.
Hey.
What's up, man? I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.
It's been a while, but man, it's always a blessing to come on the show face, man, and shed some light, man, and connect, bro. So I'm super thankful to be here, dog.
Absolutely. And my guy Nova Kane in the building.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all?
What's good, Nova Kane?
Yeah. So we usually have like a lot of hip hop artists, or we're involved in some controversy, and now all of a sudden we got the ultimate controversy with having obviously Jordan Poyer in the building, because you just made the switch over to the the rival, the people that we got a little bit of an issue with when we play you guys.
I hear you, man. I hear you, and I mean, it's life, right? Yeah. Just keep going, keep moving on, keep evolving. It's I didn't grow up in a sense of like the rival. Like everywhere I play is a rival, bro. Like there's rivals somewhere. I played in Philly, we had rivals. We played in Oregon State, we had rivals. And it was like, I never got really like, especially as I've gotten older, I've never really got too attached to those rivals. But I can see how they can become, it's just back and forth for many, 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 many years. There's a lot of South Florida, or there's a lot of Western New Yorkers down here in South Florida too. And so, like, I can only imagine the rivalry between games when Buffalo comes down here. But, man, it's just another, chapter in my journey, man. I've always, I've been in the AFC East for 7 years, somewhere that, I can go and still be familiar with how the AFC East moves, and also I'm 25 minutes from the crib. The stadium's 25 minutes from my crib that I've lived in for the past 4 years. I've lived in South Florida for the past 8 or 9. Essentially I got released. I got released from Buffalo, and, I want to keep playing. I know I can keep playing at a high level, and it's just another fresh start for me, fresh start for my family. And I mean, look, like Bills Mafia has been nothing but great, man. Just being able to allow me to grow not only on the field, but off the field as well, right? I mean, Western New York, essentially, Buffalo, New York, that they've seen me at my lowest points in my career, to where, really trying to find myself, really trying to learn about myself, learn about this world, and really lost, just thinking football was all there ever was for me and all there ever will be. And, fearing the day that I would get called by a GM and essentially be told that, I wasn't good enough, because, really that's what happened. And whether you want to call it a cap, this or the other, it's still another, it's another hurdle in your life that I've hurdled over before, being cut in Philly my rookie year, to being not wanted back in Buffalo, or in Cleveland after I got hurt, and then obviously being cut this year in Buffalo. So it's just, for me, it's just another chapter. I can understand the back and forth from the outside, but like I'm happy. I'm extremely thankful though for my time in Western New York, because like I said, I've been able to grow as a player and as a person, just learning so much about the game, so much about life. And this is just another chapter for me. I know I have a lot of fans that, that'll stick with me 15 games of the year. And, those 2 games, they'll probably wish that they didn't have to watch that game. But, I know I have some fans that just absolutely, burn my jersey. I know I have some fans that respect the decision. That's fair. Everybody's entitled to how they want to feel, how they want to think about it. For me, I'm extremely happy with how things have played out, especially the way they played out and transpired over the past 2 weeks while I was down there, doing my ayahuasca retreat. And, like I said, just super thankful to be in this position. Somebody should always tell me, if they ain't talking about you, you ain't doing a whole lot. So, a lot of people talking. I'm just living, bro. I'm just living, just being excited for a new opportunity, excited to keep playing football.
Hey. And look, we were in an incredible drought, right? Like, it was a losing conversation coming out here in Miami. Oh, when's the last time you guys been in the playoffs? And they kind of had that over us because they won a Super Bowl 50 or 60 years ago. And but they had that, right? And so you come up there, Micah Hyde comes in, new coach, and you guys get us out of a drought. Did you ever envision yourself and Micah Hyde being like, one of the top safety duos ever in the history of this league?
Man, well, I mean, just like you look back and you think about it, it's just, both him and I, 25 or 26 years old, coming in there and really just having the idea that we just wanted to change the culture and change the program around into a winning culture. We didn't know if we were going to win the Super Bowl or not. We knew we wanted to at least put every ounce of everything that we had into football, knowing like, this is our chance, this is our shot, why not? And we had a really great coach who, I'd be disappointed if I didn't mention Bobby Babich, who he was my coach in Buffalo. He's the D coordinator now for the Bills, who's earned his way all the way up the ladder, man. He was a coach for me in Cleveland. Ended up leaving for a year, went to FIU, and then ended up going to Buffalo. My first year in Buffalo in 2017. He was our safeties coach, and obviously him and Sean have had some coaching background together somewhere along the coaching tree line. He ended up coming in and really, teaching us football, teaching us the defense, teaching us the scheme, teaching us really so many details, and then just allowing Micah and I to kind of mold it into, our own way of play style, our own way of playing, and really just allowing us to play free out there. It was really one of the first times I've ever felt, since I can remember, being able to go out there and just play free. And that came with time. That came with, going through some tough patches and some wins, some losses, and vice versa. But just him and I just continue to stick with it, continue to grow, continue to learn and evolve. And essentially that's what, look at the grand scheme of things and how everything played out. It's all for that. It's all for us to learn, to grow, to evolve every opportunity that we get. Whether it's right in front of us and we see it, or it's all way for, and it's gonna be bumpy roads. We didn't win a Super Bowl. That was, everybody's gonna say, yeah, greatest tandem ever, but they didn't win a Super Bowl. But to me, it's bigger than that. Yeah, you want to win the Super Bowl. Obviously, I want to win the damn Super Bowl. But like the connections that I made, man, the stuff that I went through, and learning how to figure out just the people that I met along the way. Like I said earlier, just if I have a thank you coming out to Western New York Bills Mafia. The time will be right when I drop that, but just here, you can hear it here first, man. Just I thank you all, Bills Mafia, for just allowing me to be myself and be vulnerable in situations and really, wrap your arms around me when a kid coming in there in 2017 didn't really know nothing about nothing, and it was a blessing to play there, man. I enjoyed it. I did. The good and the bad. There was a lot of shit that happened out there off the field that was just, there's not some things that we had disagreements on. I don't like playing all them damn taxes up there. They taking all the damn jeez, man. You know what I mean? And it's the weather. It's snowing 9 months out the year. Like, it's tough to play out there in Western New York. It is very tough to play. I always kind of bring that up in the sense that, like, you go to where it's always football, right? So, like, it's football. You're in a bubble, essentially. And it's like you go out to Target, no, you can't go out to Target if anybody that's on that football team. You can't go out to eat. You can, but it's going to be like a paparazzi type, everybody's going to be coming up. Once one person sees it, the rest of the ball starts rolling. Now next person thinks they can come up, and it's just like, so then there's no point in going out with the family and trying to eat, because, and so you're stuck really essentially from the months of late, September, or late October, when snow starts coming, and so when it stops. And that's the hard part of the year, man. It's really hard. Being out there 7 years, I've you know, I've grown and gained a lot of respect for everybody that's came through Buffalo to play football out there, because it's different, you know, and in so many like good ways though. Like it really tests you, it tests your mind, your body, your spirit. Essentially, you know, that was one of the bigger things where I needed to get better at. I realized that about myself, right? And just being out there and having some of the bad habits that I had, just, you know, continue to learn about myself. And that's what Buffalo allowed me to figure out, you know, if we're talking more at a metaphysical world, you know, or more at a metaphysical level. In a sense, it's like it was deeper beyond, you know, the reason why I was out there in Buffalo was deeper beyond football. Yeah, it was football, and it's always going to be football, right? Like football is always going to be our love, our passion, you know, what we care about, what we put things into. But it was like on a deeper level than that of what I needed to figure out. And that's essentially why, you know, everyone in Western New York who has connected with me and impacted me, you know who you are. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And get to see y'all twice a year. I said earlier, I said it's not goodbye, it's just see you later. You know?
It's definitely a see you later. So shout out to my guy Tony Perello. He sent in a super chat. He says, incredible watching you play for 7 years, nothing but love. Then he says, what do you do when you find yourself head up against JA-17, Josh Allen?
You play football. What you mean? You play football. You trust your instincts. You trust your instincts to play football. Shit, he might get me, I might get him, but we gonna keep playing. Shit,
ball, baby.
We gonna keep playing. It's ball, bro. It's ball, bro.
Yeah, you got.
What's gonna happen happens. I ain't gonna think about it.
As a huge fan myself, obviously football. You know, I what you're saying about Buffalo is something I say about them all the time. Like, it's okay. You guys don't have to trash everybody. You know, when somebody has a bad week, you guys go insane. Like, 1 week, Josh Allen is God. The next week, why did we ever draft him? We could have got this guy or that guy. It's like, it's so much to take in. Like, even for me as a fan watching and seeing people go crazy on Facebook, which is where they go nuts. Like, it's like, well, I mean, last week you didn't feel this way, and the next week you're going to say, oh, we're Super Bowl bound. You know what I mean? So it switches so much, so I know it is extremely stressful to go out there and have to deal with that often. Small city. I ran into Rex Ryan when he was coaching over there, and he goes, listen, I've been everywhere. You know, I've been to Baltimore. I've been in New York. He goes, I come to Buffalo, and I'm actually like a rock star out here. You know, he's like, I got the big truck. There's people chasing me down the street in the truck. Rex. He's like, it's never happened to me anywhere else. I love it here. You know, so it's there is a lot of that where you can't really, you know, and hearing it from this perspective, you know, it's obviously clear that this ayahuasca is doing really well because you're super level-headed, right? But sitting there explaining what you went through while being there is something that I personally have never heard before.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was all lessons, right? From the year I was, you know, 2017, we made it to the playoffs. I had 5 picks, but I was fucking drinking every other day. To the next year, we lost in the playoffs, where that was really the year when it was the year we lost to Houston. So when the year we didn't go to the playoffs, and then the year we made it to the playoffs, we lost to Houston. That was, I think, Josh's second year, maybe. Yeah. That was a really tough year for me. And that was the year I stopped drinking, was that off season. So it's been 4 years since I stopped drinking. But even after I stopped drinking, it was still more of like, you know, okay, like I stopped drinking, but why am I still like so unhappy? And it was like, you know, me trying to figure out ways to like find happiness, whether it was like, whether I'd go buy new shit or but I still couldn't find it. So when the season came around, came around quick after that off season, like that Houston year. And then, but that was the year, I think that was the year, my first year was when I was all pro. It was the year I was stopped drinking. And then the next year was the year I got hurt, right? I think I might miss one more year, but like I turned into all pro, went all pro after I stopped drinking. I mean, I was feeling great. The year after that was the year I hurt my elbow, and it was like, you know, the universe is testing me. It's just polarity, right? It's just like, you're just going to get tested, and you got to figure out what it's teaching you and figure out the lessons that you got to learn. And at the time I was frustrated. I wasn't in this headspace that I'm in now. And like, I look back and I really understand now, like the lessons that me hurting my elbow, me driving to Kansas City, like all of that, you know, all of that was just part of it, part of understanding myself more and wanting to, you know, just play through it. Not like necessarily play through, because I can still play, but it was just like, just test myself, you know, like, just like see how far I could take this. And like, I always thought like I just want to play till the wheels fall off. And literally, I was driving to Kansas City. I was like, well, shit, here you go. You want to play till the wheels fall off?
Yeah.
Here you go. You're going.
This was what, like, 2 years ago that happened, right?
That was 2 years ago. Yeah. So after that season, like the year we played Cincinnati, started getting these really bad migraines towards the end of the season. It was literally the last game, the playoff game. When the first migraine that I got, and it was because I was taking all these medicines, bro. I was taking all this stuff for my elbow, for my knee, for my ribs, and I was taking all these painkillers to try to just feel better. So I was feeling like shit throughout the week. I had so much going on in my body. I just didn't know how to like not hurt. So I would get all these anti-inflammatory medicines, and by the end of the season, like the first headache migraine that I got, I had to go to the hospital with my wife. We were sitting in the hospital for like 12 hours, and they gave me a brain scan. They fed me with some IVs and some tubes and whatnot, and I was fine. Like the headache went away, but I ended up getting a headache 2 more times, like through the span of a month. And one of those headaches came on the night we played Cincinnati in the playoffs. Bro, I'm in this hotel, bro, and like I feel it come on, bro, and my head just starts pounding, just boom, boom, boom. Like I'm up, pacing in my room till like 6 in the morning. And I went and told the trainers, and I was like, man, I had one of these headaches last night. Shit hurts. And to be honest, that was the only game probably in my career that I really did not want to play that game. Like, I just did not want to play. I didn't feel like I could do anything, run out of it. Like, it just hurt to think, bro. And so I ended up playing that game, and actually, ironically, ended up getting a concussion in my last play. He tried to hit what's the name down the sideline. I ran into Tre'Davious, and I ended up getting diagnosed with a concussion. But it was like after that, it was like a whole thing that like ended up for kind of a wake up call. Like I knew my mind, body, and spirit was just off, and I needed something. And so like ayahuasca was just they say it has to call you in a sense. And I mean, I've told the story numerous amount of times, but it's, I saw Aaron Rodgers talking about it on a Pat McAfee show one time. And, that was the year, actually, his last year in Green Bay, when his team, they weren't that good that year. But I saw his presence and his way he was asking questions, or he was answering questions in the media. I saw, how he handled himself, the intention behind what he was doing. I was paying attention to all that, and I was like, man, he knows something that I don't, bro. Like, there's something he knows that I don't. So I just kept researching, kept diving, kept digging. All of a sudden, one day I finally just decided to pull the trigger that I was going to go on this retreat and figure out what it was that was calling me. Because it was everything I was reading was resonating with me super deep on a super level, like on a super deep level. And so, man, I went and sat that first time, and it changed my whole. It changed the trajectory of my life. Like, just being able to have a clear heart, clear mind, like you think you do sometimes, but a lot of us hold stuff in, like whether it's traumas, whether it's, a lot of PTSD, folks do ayahuasca because they see some stuff and they hold it. It's energy, right? All that stuff that you're holding in, it's energy, and all that stuff. If it's that energy is built up through a certain amount of time, and you haven't been able to release it or let go of it, like it turns into bad stuff. It turns into whether you want to call it cancer, diabetes, anxiety. It turns into all this sorts of type of stuff.
Physical ailment, not just
physical illness, mental illness, like all sorts of stuff, because all that energy is just being stored. Whether it's in and we all feel it. Like it's deep. It's like it's such on a deep level, bro. And I can sit here and literally talk about it all night, but like you get to a point of talking about it where you kind of lose the audience, because it's kind of like
look, this isn't as much as it is about the audience. At the Danza Project, what we started with is we wanted to have that conversation. So like if the audience is kind of clicking out, that's not my audience anyways. You know what I mean? The audience should be the people that are here to listen to authentic conversation, because that's what we're here to do. I tell people the way that I want people to envision what goes on here at the Danza Project is, we bring we're kicking it with somebody, and they're like, oh, yo, here's my boy Jordan, and we're meeting you on the fly. So they're getting to meet you as we're getting to meet you. You know,
Right.
and this part, before we hopped on here, the first thing I said is I watched that Pat McAfee clip where he's like, I could never do it. And I tell you that right before we hop on, and I'm listening to you speak, and I'm like, wait, maybe I can. So like this is intriguing to me. So like, what advice would you give to somebody like myself that sits there and questions it? Like, I don't want to go, I think, is it too scary to trip out or what's going to happen? Because that's my first thought. Like, I'm going to see demons and trolls pop up out of the ground or something.
Nah, I mean, understand one, it's a choice. Like, you know, and you're gonna be the only one that knows when you're ready to make that choice. You know, I'm not forcing you to say, hey, you know, you need to go do ayahuasca or you need to go do a temescal, you know, simply just planting the seeds because you feel it. You feel it in your bones, the way that you connect with people. You feel it in your intuition. You feel it in your heart. You know, when you have these types of conversations and something really resonates with you, those are the signs that we've been given our whole entire life, but we've been missing those signs because we're not paying attention to those signs. You know, it's all, you know, when you're talking to somebody, you're talking to a friend, you're talking to a girl, and you get the goosebumps and like, you know, like it's little subtle things that we're so distracted by the materialistic world, by the Instagram, by TikTok, by all this stuff that essentially in the grand scheme of things doesn't matter. You know, I always say like we're human beings, not human doings. Like we need to learn how to be, we need to learn how to be present in moments and connect and share and love and understand like the world that we live in and become more aware of our thoughts. Like, right. Like our thoughts, like we're so entrapped in our own minds sometimes that's essentially what ayahuasca and these retreats allow you to do. It allows you to get out of your own mind, out of your own head to understanding like you can do a temescal. What's like, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing that should, like the fear of that's exactly it. Is like, what are we afraid of? Like, are we afraid of death? Well, okay, death is a part of the process that we all are going to have to go through in this lifetime, every single one of us, and learning to understand that death is just part of the process, and our ancestors are here and have been here forever around us all the time. We just don't know how to pay attention to the signs. Like it's so deep beyond what you can even.
What's crazy is when you're trying to explain it, you can explain it for hours and hours and hours, and they'll still never understand what it's actually like. Like it's that deep, it's that wild,
right? And you can, and again, like I took some teammates with me, and it was like, you hear them talking about it. And so I've done the medicine before. I did on a retreat last year, and so bringing new people, I had a whole different perspective going into this time, and like hearing them talk about the research that they were doing, and that's great. Like you could do all this research, but it's so different. That was the thing. Like when I was younger, like going to church, like I was in church and I would feel it. I would understand, like, yes, I understand the word. It's like, be a good person, you know, do right by others. I get it. Like, yes, I believe that. But like, there's something on a deeper level that I can't necessarily feel. And none of us can feel because we've been so disconnected from the self. And that's on purpose, right? It's polarity. It's yin and yang. Like there's as much good as there is in this world trying to do good and right by others. There's another side that's trying to do just as bad. And like, it's very, very bad to a sense with like our phones, like, you know, like I said, TikTok, Instagram is off to engulf and entrap our minds into in a sense, like following orders, and it's not necessarily following orders, but like not following your heart. Like that's literally what it is. It's just like being able to be aware enough to know how it's the Matrix, bro. I don't know if you've ever seen the Matrix, but like watch that in a whole different perspective. Like it's a documentary in a sense that's like telling you red pill or blue pill. Do you want to keep living in La La Land and like to understand like this, like whatever land that you think this is, you want to keep doing that, or like let me show you what this actually is, which is a choice. It's a choice that you got to make. And I'm not even saying to go sit with ayahuasca, but like even diving deeper into the quantum level of like how do monks, you know, spend 10 years to get to a certain state of mind. Like these people, they detach from everything, and it takes a monk 10 years to get to this certain state of mind, and in a sense of like what it would take to drink ayahuasca. A monk, if like I'm gonna say this right, so hold on, let me say this right.
This is dope.
I love
this is dope.
I love this.
So when you drink the DMT, when you drink the ayahuasca, it is a plant. It's two different plants. There's 600,000 plants in the Amazon rainforest, but these two plants, it's called the It's called the Cappy Vine. It's called the Cappy Vine, and it's like a Berensteniopus flower. Anyway, these two out of 600,000 plants, they extract the liquid out of this vine, and they brew it for 3 days. And as they brew it, they give it vibrational good love vibrations, bro. Like, I know it's everything is energy, right? So like when you drink this medicine, when you drink this brew, and it's literally coming from the earth, like this is like technology that has been here for centuries. Like this brew is coming from our earth. And like, if you want to call it whatever you want to call it, whatever you believe in, God, Buddha, whatever it is, source, the divine, like wouldn't put this medicine here if it wasn't for us to learn from it, as if it wasn't for us to tap into. And so this medicine has been here for centuries, and these indigenous people are finally releasing the knowledge to this medicine. That's why you start hearing about it more and more, because they understand the planet is in danger in a sense. We are essentially in a spiritual like warfare right now over our minds. It's not like, you think about war being fought in the skies or fought on the ground with guns and shit. Like, yeah, but essentially like it's a war on our minds. And if we don't essentially tap into our true essence and our true nature of like why we're here and what we're doing, like we're never going to collectively get to where we need to evolve to. Like it's just the pendulum's going to keep swinging. And that's what essentially happened thousands of years. I mean, if you want to go even in a deeper level, like essentially it's already happened. Humans have already been here and have already fucked this planet up to where they just sent the damn ocean and just sent the flood, bro. Restart. It's the same thing. It's like just in a different. It's crazy, bro. It's shit crazy, bro.
It's a lot to cover.
Crazy. Yeah, nah, that's deep. I'm definitely like. I think you made me jump
and that's
over,
why I say like it's tough to like you have these conversations, right? And like you feel it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like you feel it. It's not like something that you're gonna go online and be like, I mean, you could definitely find all of this stuff, but like when somebody goes online and they search stuff, like it's the negative connotation around these things that are always like, all you need is one person to say something like, oh, that shit ain't true, or that shit like, but whatever. And then automatically your mind has already shut it off, but now you already get validation that it's shut off. And so now you just going to look the other way because like you, ignorance. And I'm not saying you in particular, I'm just saying humans, like, that's what we do. Like, that's what we do. We see something and we like, nah, that can't be real. And like, you're just like, nah, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way that like we're in a 3-dimensional work plane and there's 4, 5, 6 dimensions. You can tap into it with your mind and you can use crystals and you can use plant medicine to really like, there's no way. Yeah. Because people don't understand what they don't understand. People are afraid of the unknown. That's what the fear-based message is around us, bro. It's like all fear-based, like fear about race, fear about politics, fear about, it's all divide and conquer. Like it's never been me versus you. It's not me versus you. It's us collectively as one. Like, okay, I'm glad you believe in this, that, or the other, man. That's powerful, man. Stick to that. Like, I love that for you. Please, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I believe in XYZ over here. Like, just because you believe in XYZ and that person believes in ABC, that doesn't mean you two are going to, like, everybody's going to the same place. It's just on a different path. We're all on just a different path going to the same friggin' place, bro. But we make it complicated. We make it so complicated where we try to divide, like it's divide, like me versus you. We play the victim mindset. I'm in this situation because they put me over there, because like, it's like, it's you. You have the decision. You have the blessing to, and the awareness to make the decision right now. Like, the past is the past. Like, you can't, that's what we hold on to. That's what essentially what ayahuasca allows us to let go, is like, let go of, that 12-year-old that beat your ass when you were younger. Let go of that girlfriend that did XYZ. Let go of that death that, like, that happened along, that learn to let go of that. This is part of the process. It's part of your growth. It's part of your evolution. It's part of our evolution. You think you're the only one going through some shit? You're not. We all going through some shit.
It's the biggest
we gotta learn how to go through the shit. Because when you're aware of that the shit is coming, and then you can move how you want to move, so that the shit doesn't affect you how it's trying to affect you. It's supposed to try to affect you, bro. Like bullshit, it's supposed to bring you down. It's supposed to, or at least try to. But if you have the awareness that the bullshit is coming to try to bring you down, you can manipulate the fucking bullshit, and you can move the energy and say, nah, like I get this, you coming, but like I'm coming right back. And sometimes you might have to take that step back and, like, you know what I'm saying, assess it. The bullshit is here. Assess it. What happened? Sit with it.
Sit in it. Yeah,
you know, you gotta accept it. Like, okay, boom, made my decision. Let's go. We moving. I know it's coming. Like, I'm aware. You're not just moving blindly through this world. Get up, go to work, go come home, eat, get up, go to work, come on, eat. That's not just, there's shit happening. Like, we gotta become more aware of everything around us, and the signs are all around us all the time, bro. Yeah. All the time. Like synchronicities, bro. They're not coincidences. They're not luck, bro. Like you see stuff that happens that, like, you driving and you see something, bro, like just something random, bro. Like
deja vu type
patterns.
Deja vu, bro. It's not, they're not coincidences. Like that's essentially the divine, God, whatever you want to call it, the source. That is the messages that they are giving to you, letting you know, like, hey, you're on the right path. Keep going, keep moving, you know. And we choose to just say, oh, that's just luck right there. No way. Or that's just, you know, that's just a secret, like whatever. Like, and we choose to like go against it. Like, why are we going against it? They're trying to bless us. Like, you're trying to bless yourself. Like, keep going. It's trying to motivate you. Yeah. But we miss all the science and shit we're not taught. That's the shit we're not taught. And they don't want us to know that. They don't want us to know this type of stuff. Because if they knew that the answer was love, if they knew the answer was connection, if they knew the answer was sharing and being like, and not having to follow the rules like that, like they wouldn't have no control anymore. People wouldn't be walking around like they don't know what the hell is going on. You know, we'd be more aware of what the hell is happening to us. Shit is happening to us and we have no idea. We just walking around like it ain't nothing going on. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy to me. Blind. That's crazy to me. And so that's why I've been advocating and standing behind A-Rod and shit during the whole COVID, Beasley during the whole COVID, bro. Like, it's one thing, like, yeah, if you wanted to go get a vaccine, please. But why are you talking to me about going to get a vaccine? And we look back and all that shit just swept under the rug. Like, ain't nothing happened. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah. What is happening? You feel me? Like, it's just stuff is happening. We just pretending like it's not. And that's it. That's what's eating us up inside as humans, bro. The planet is transitioning. We're not just on a ball going through space, bro. You're not just living and dying and going to la land, bro. Like, shit is happening here. We gotta become more aware, bro. We gotta become more aware. And that's not saying to go do ayahuasca. You don't gotta go do ayahuasca to become more aware. But it's just more like, if you go do ayahuasca, you definitely will be more aware. Yeah. But like, you could definitely
no avoiding that.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's the thing. Not to cut you off, but
no, go ahead. I was chatting.
For sure. A lot of folks, you know, they hear ayahuasca and that's them jumping out. They're like, oh, there's no way. It's like a hard drug, and I hate to say drug, but what is something that they could do as like a beginner? You know, ease into that kind of thing. I know people recommend smoke a little ganja, maybe microdose some shrooms, or do like the sensory deprivation chambers, things like that. Did you just jump into ayahuasca, or was there like something that kind of?
Yeah. First, let me ask this though. Like, what is our perception of what a drug is? Like, okay, people are going to say, yeah, ayahuasca is a drug, but okay, that same person is going to go over to damn CVS and go get that damn drug, pharmaceutical, the depression or anxiety pills. Like, are we calling that a drug too? And ayahuasca a drug too? Like, what are we defining as a drug? Because to me, it's like, okay, you have depression, you have anxiety. You're going to go to this doctor who's going to sit here and tell you have depression or you have anxiety. Why are you going to tell me like I have depression? I do not have no depression. But anyways, you're going to go to this doctor and say, I have depression. That doctor is going to say, hey, go over here. I'm going to prescribe you some medicine and come back in 30 days and tell you how you feel. Boom, you go get your medicine. You come home. Boom, boom, I pop it. All right, cool. I feel a little bit better. Damn, what are you actually doing though? you're not getting to the root of why you're depressed. You're just masking the idea that you're depressed. And so you go get this medicine, boom, boom, boom. You run out of pills 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, like, something comes back. Why does something come back? Like, because you're in your head thinking about, damn, I don't have my medicine. So something like that energy starts to build up. That anxiety starts to build up. Let me go back to the doctor, get my medicine. Boom. Let me go to the doctor, get my medicine. Boom, boom, boom. Take my medicine, feel better. All of a sudden, like that is all your head though. Like that. And now all of a sudden you're masking that energy, but that energy is still being stored there. You're not getting to the root of why you feel. And so now 10 years, 20 years later, you end up with some sort of health disease, health issue that you look back and you're like, and that was where I was scared about. I was scared of shit that I'm still scared. I've been taking Toradol, bro. I stopped taking that shit, all that shit that just is not beneficial for our bodies. But don't get me wrong. There's some stuff that people have to go out there and take. That I'm talking in the idea of what is a drug. You know, like they put on the Super Bowl ads. They'll sit here and put these drugs out, and then at the bottom put these tiny ass letters at the bottom and read it hella fast so that you don't see it or hear it, and go to the next commercial. Like, what, bro? It says all these side effects. Oh, heart effects. If you XYZ, if you feel over this weight, then don't take this. You might pass out. And like, what, bro? Like, hold on, rewind that.
It's like a vaccine.
Yeah, bro. Like, what did you just say? Yeah. So it's like we got to change. That was the reason why I'm making this documentary, is because we got to change the idea of what a drug is essentially, and what plant medicine is, because people who've never sat with the medicine, I don't really give a dang what you say about whether it's a drug or not, because you've never been in that space and has seen what, and even dabbled in it. Because if you did dabble in it, so like we go back to the second question. I mean, there's microdosing. There's sitting with somebody, a good setting, and sitting with if you really want to just go to a place that'll kind of get you maybe halfway to what an ayahuasca retreat would. I'm not telling people to go sit with mushrooms or to go do fucking microdosing, but learn about it. Like, learn about it and don't be afraid to like ask those questions about it. I'm trying to change. I want to change the negative, the negative connotation around plant medicine or psychedelics, even, because and not every psychedelic is for every person. It has to resonate with you. What it needs to heal, it needs to resonate with you. So ayahuasca, I need to heal my trauma. I need to heal some of the decisions I made. That was what was calling me, and everything's gonna always call you. So my mom, she came with me. She never ever done no psychedelics in her life before. She came with me, sat with ayahuasca. She's a champ, bro. For real. I'm telling you, bro. My mom is a champ, bro. She was in the Temescal with me too. Like, just to seeing the power in her mind, bro, just gave me so much motivation. But now, like, she understands that space, and now she can use microdoses and macrodoses to essentially, it's like, have you seen the movie Limitless, bro?
Yeah.
The movie where you take the pill, bro, and like it almost just like it brings your senses and you're aware of everything. I'm not saying it's like a cheat code, but it's a fucking cheat code. We're in a Sims game right now, bro. And it's like giving your character like a boost, bro, and like just now he's you know what I mean? Like, it's like it's on a different, it's a different level. Right? Yeah. It's a different level, and it's and look, bro. A lot of people will say, like, you know, they've had bad trips or bad this or that. Bad trips are a great lesson. For one, it tells you that you shouldn't be either where you're at, or that you got some things that you got to work on. And so I always say setting is always important. That's why you can't just take ayahuasca in your house. Like, that's why I go to Costa Rica and I sit with people who have knowledge of the medicine, and I sit in a space where I feel comfortable and even sometimes uncomfortable, because you're learning about that uncomfortableness is part of it too. And so, like, you know, there's retreat centers in Arizona. I would always advise people to really dive into, you know, where the retreat is, location, the people that have been there, read some reviews, and always Resonance in Costa Rica. I'm always gonna shout them out because I've gone there twice, and there's so much love over there. So,
this is something that has a bunch of different centers. I thought it was just like
one place. No, there's. I mean, they have the Saltara. There's a place called Saltara. There's a place called Jake Paul's at Saltara right now. There's Resonance, and then what is the other one called? There's a third one that's really big down there in Costa Rica too. They have them they have some in the United States, and like I said, Arizona would probably be, where you feel connected. You can't just like, because everything's all around us, right? The earth, the wind, the air, the sun, the moon, like all the elements. It's energy all around us all the time. And so like, you can't just take mushrooms and sit in your room and expect like some profound, it's being outside and connecting to the elements around you, understanding that we are just guests here. Like we are literally, you could call it, I know you've seen the Simpsons zoom out video of like him in the brain, and like they were like zooming out and it would just turn into like a cell inside of another cell inside of another cell. Like, think about it, bro. Like zoom out, go outside and like look at the stars, bro. Like just look and stare at the stars, bro. Like we're not here alone. Like we haven't been here alone, and we're never gonna be here alone. We think that human beings, like we are the cream of the crop, like we are like we're not. Like we gotta humble ourselves and come back down to like this freaking realm and be like, yo, like there's a bigger game here. There's something happening here. We need to collectively learn how to understand that. And it's minds like us, bro. It's voices like us that's gonna start to help just plant the seeds. Cause bro, you haven't blinked one time, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm tripping right now. I'm tripping right now. I think I'm on it right now. Yeah.
He's learning. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, bro. Like, cause we resonate with it, bro. We're humans. We're all together. We're all one, bro. So we feel it in your bones, bro. You feel it in your heart. When you hear conversations like this, it's real, bro. I don't got no script over here. I ain't got no damn. You know what I'm saying? It's real, bro. You get real.
Screen turns over and it's like, oh, what? You know what I mean?
It's also like, it's like good music, right? Like somebody kind of has to put you on to it. Maybe at first it doesn't make sense, but after a while you kind of, wow, absolutely, it's like undeniable now. You're like, damn, I didn't know I like country music. Like, oh shit, this shit's pretty good, you know? It's very much like that. It's crazy though, because somebody in your position with your status and all that, being in the public and dating publicly and living your everything in public, it's amazing how the bigger you get, it's like the smaller the world actually becomes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot harder to do things and to live a normal life, whatever that is, when you're such a name. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine what this has been able to do for you.
Yeah, that's the question I gotta ask is, being in sports, with all these athletes that are out here and that face similar issues. Like when you're talking about that concussion and, you're constantly going out there. The biggest thing is I'm 38 years old. My body is already beat up just from working out, right? You're out there putting your body on the line every single game, every single day when you're out there in practice, right? And a lot of pain that a lot of you athletes are going through. Do you think that more athletes should be jumping into something like this to help with that as well?
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm going to say ayahuasca is not for everybody, but everybody's for ayahuasca. In a sense that, look, again, there's like myself there's a lot of egos and people who feel that they are in a good place, feel that they have been able to, like myself, really hide a lot of the traumas and the demons that I had and be able to not really acknowledge them and just block them off. And like, I would do something bad and I would be able to just forget about it and not really think about it. And there's a lot of people that live like that. And that's why I said our soul is all on its own place to essentially, whatever you want to call it, heaven, and, some people are taking longer to realize, their soul's purpose than others. And you have to respect that. I was there, and I was in that place where, like I said, just hiding my demons, just storing my demons in places that, in my body and it came up in a sense. You could talk about, it came up in my lacerated kidney in Cleveland, they come up in many different ways, many different lessons. And it's up to you to put this pieces together. Nobody can tell you like I said, nobody can tell you to go do ayahuasca. Nobody can tell you, but I can plant the seeds and point you in the right direction. And ultimately the choice is up to you when that is presented right in front of your face, because if it resonates with you, you're going to dig, you're going to go, you're going to do it. And essentially nothing's going to matter until you actually, you actually make the decision. And again, I would advocate for a lot of athletes too, because this is mind, body, and spirit. Like this is strengthening literally the muscles that like I don't feel like I was taught to strengthen as a young adult, you know, and especially in the league. Like, yeah, we have team psychiatrists and psychologists and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, they're all amazing people. But it's like such like base level type learning, like, you know, it's not like anything beyond, like you can't feel it. It's just like what did this university have as a you know, the textbooks they had to teach what, you know, the right side of the brain did and the left side of the brain did, and how you can, you know, it just doesn't resonate with people, you know, because you can't feel it. You can't feel that. Like, yeah, it's not real, you know. And when you see what's real, you see the energy, you can move the energy. That's when you have the understanding of what actually is real, who to connect with, who to save your energy for, who to keep your energy from. You know, it's all energy. What are you thinking about? What are you saying? What are the intentions behind your saying? What are the intentions behind the way you shake somebody's hand or look them in the eye? You know, it's all those little subtle things that we just unaware of, that, you know.
I don't know how do I sign up? I feel like, you know, it's wild because we start off the conversation, you're getting into the part where you're discussing, you got to feel it. This conversation definitely did that for me, where I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, what am I missing out on? You know, like, and I'm, everybody that knows me knows I'm kind of like hesitant about anything like that, but you explain it very well. Right, and I imagine with the documentary, that's something that you're trying to help get across.
Absolutely, and I mean, again, like, you know, words can only explain so much, you know, and then this documentary is gonna almost, you know, give some visuals too, you know, how the retreat, how the week goes, and the process through it all, and obviously see some of the images and the footage of what a retreat is like. But again, that's just planting the seeds, right? You know, again, ultimately the choice is yours, you know, and it's not like, you know, I couldn't force my mom. I couldn't force my brother to come sit with ayahuasca, bro. Like the idea, even I remember I had like to go sit with anything psychedelic, bro. I'm like, bro, you fucking crazy, bro. Like what?
Mom? Not
ain't no way, bro. But bro, I just, like I said, I just kept reading, just let go and just be like, let go and learn. And you get to a point where you're able to let go, and you see essentially the other side of what this is right here. You know, it's they say, I mean, Coach Carter's, that Coach Clip and Coach Carter, I knew it always resonated with me, but I just didn't know why. And it was the part where he stands up and he says, our deepest power is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest power is that we are powerful beyond measure. I mean, that shit hits home with me in a sense. Like we all, like I said, like even when I was in my dark place, like I thought I was good, man. Like I'm good, bro. But like we all don't know really how powerful we truly are until we can tap in to what they've been hiding from us, bro. Like essentially they're hiding this information from us. They know that this information is there. They know how to tap into this information, bro, but they're hiding it from us so that we don't collectively become what we're supposed to be and who we're supposed to be and evolve how we're supposed to be.
Actual higher beings.
To actual higher fucking beings, bro.
See what you did there.
Yeah, nah, it's true though. Like that's kind of what I'm gathering from it. Was it painful initially, like letting all those? Is it something like where your emotions are just going out of control?
Like it's more you feel the emotions of. So like if it made you sad, you're gonna feel really sad. If it made you hurt, you might feel hurt as like you're purging and you're throwing up, and it's like, you know, the purge is such is part of it, and like the release is even more liberating. Like yeah, it might hurt your stomach for a little bit that you know, say you know, you're eating bad and you go into a ceremony and you didn't do your dieta the right way, and you're gonna like the mother eye is gonna know that you were eating like shit before coming there, so she's gonna make you pay for it in a sense. She might make your stomach hurt until like you realize that you gotta stop eating like shit, and she might make you throw up for 45 minutes until you realize you gotta stop eating like shit, you know. And it was, you know, in a sense, like, you know, she's gonna make you feel like, for me it was like a lot of confusion with my family, and like going in last year, and so like a lot of sad confusion, a lot of like what would it be like, and like so like she made me feel like like alone, bro, like alone with nobody in this world that nobody cared about. And like, it was a feeling that I felt, and it was a feeling that felt for time doesn't exist when you're under this medicine. Time is irrelevant. Like you're not, there's no, and if you think about time, time is a human construct. Time doesn't actually exist. We created time. And when you create time, it makes you feel like you're in a race to something. Like you're always got to be something, do something, be somewhere. Like, like I said, you live, you die, you eat, you come home, da, da, da. You live, you die, you eat. And so you feel like, I got to do this before I die. I got to do this. Nah, like sit, be, here right now, present in this moment, see the signs, see what's going on around you. Aware of everything. Like just go to the airport one time, put your phone in your pocket, bro, and just put your headphones on and don't put no music on or take them off. I like listening, but just feel, bro, like feel the chaos almost. I don't want to say like it's kind of scary, but it's like, bro, it's like, holy cow, bro. Like it's a lot of chatter about nothing. Just a whole bunch of nothing, of like noise. People who just are trying to find their way, bro, trying to find their way. And like, essentially that's what we're all trying to do, but we don't have to fight it. Like we don't have to fight it. Like, it's freedom isn't being able to go out in the streets and run around butt naked and sing hallelujah, bro. Freedom is a state of mind, bro. It's being able to untrap yourself out of your mind, out of your own thoughts, and being able to control those thoughts and be able to move those thoughts into thoughts that you want it to be, instead of you waking up and being like, damn, I gotta go to work today, or damn, I gotta do this. Even if you don't want to, it's like, I'm gonna go to work today and I'm gonna kill it. And you give yourself those affirmations. I'm going to work today. I'm going to kill it. It's just simple affirmation. You can just say 10 affirmations when you wake up in the morning. 10 times you just say, I'm gonna kill it today, or I'm gonna go, whatever it is. I'm the man today. I'm the man today. I'm the man today. You just get, it's like those intentions you're putting out to the universe. The universe can't tell the difference. If you feel like shit and you're saying I'm the man, the universe can't tell the difference if you're putting the intentions out into the world. Even though you feel like shit. Even though you feel like shit, then the universe is going to be like, okay, he's a man. Let me show you how you're the man. Here's a sign. Boom. Pay attention. Here's a sign. Boom. Pay attention. And you keep paying attention to them signs. You watch how the universe works. But if you wake up and you're saying, oh, man, I got to go to work today. I got to see Betsy and, she's going to be cranky as hell. You go with that intention of like that. Now watch how the universe is going to throw this at you. Look, Betsy, here she is. Book. Oh, how you going to react now? Oh, whoa. And you're just going to fall in that loop of just negative, all the way out till you come back home. You're going to come back home and you're going to be mad as shit at your day at work just because Betsy said one thing the first day you got in there. And now you coming home, you taking it out on your family. And that's just a loop in itself, bro. You don't even know why, bro. You don't even know why, bro. Crazy. You don't even know why, bro.
Yeah. Speaking about family and being in that space, right? Obviously, I mean, even when my girl was just checking you out, she's like, "Oh my God, his girlfriend's so hot. He's got such," you know what I mean? Everybody loves Rachel, and then you got a beautiful family, and you're a father.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Being a father, what is it like coming home, clear mind, as a father? Which is probably like, cause I got a 10-week-old in there, right? And then I got a 2-year-old that's about to be 2 years old in a couple of weeks. So
right.
Now that you got me thinking about getting into this lane, what's it like coming home, being a father, a husband?
Bro, like, they're the reasons why I'm so thankful for Rachel, bro, because like she stuck with me through the bullshit, bro, and just like has put her arm around me through my lowest and highest, bro. And just even her allowing me to step into this space and trusting me to like go on this journey. And like, it just shows me how powerful God is, bro. And just, and her, cause she has her own beliefs, right? She's a Christian and very, very fair in her own beliefs. And, one of the things going into last year's ceremony, I'll be honest, I thought like that, I'm not necessarily Christian. I believe in the Bible. I believe in the word, but like, I just know that there's more to it. And I feel like sometimes we're not shown the entire truth. And so, and she's starting to like tap into understanding that, like, as far as like the book of Enoch, the fallen angels, like what actually happened. Like, and so, she's starting to, we had a conversation when I got home last year, bro, that just like talk about letting go. Like I was able to express how I felt, and like that's the fear, bro. Like my whole time I'm thinking in my head, man, if I ever said this in front of her, she would fucking break up with me, bro. It's like she'd leave me, bro. So I held it in for the longest time. I just like I wouldn't say anything about it, wouldn't tell her my beliefs. Came home from that trip last year, and I sat down. We talked on the patio for 3.5, 4 hours, bro. Just everything, and it was so liberating. It was so free to actually speak about it and like speak how I feel, and like and love her for how she feels, bro, and like understand like that's okay because like it's your path, and like I love you so much for standing true to that, and I love you even more for like understanding like my path and like how I see the world, and that's okay, right? Like it's not me versus you. Like we can work on this together and see where we meet, see where we don't meet, and that's how we grow. That's how you evolve. And it made our relationship so much stronger. Like it made our relationship so much stronger. So I'm super thankful for her. And Aaliyah, bro, I'm just able to like, I mean, kids are just nothing but love and joy, bro. Like that's just they act exactly how they're supposed to act. Like there's nothing that they're doing wrong. They're a child. Like, and I had to come to it, bro. And I had to like for the longest time, like, yo, like why are you acting like that sometimes? Like, why are you like being like that? And I'm like, bro, she's a kid, bro. She's 4 years old, bro. She's 5 years old. Like, that's like, what are you mad about? What are you talking about? Like, tell her to clean it up for her. Tell her it's okay and move on. Like, what the fuck you tripping for? And so, like, those are some of the things, like, being able to be more present in her life. And, like, I'll also, like, keep her out of the institutions as well. Like I'm homeschooling her because I don't agree with how they teach kids, because essentially that's how they taught us to conform and comply and to follow rules and to go to work to 8 to 5, raise your hand when you need to go to the bathroom. Like this is the answer. This is the only answer. Don't ask questions, bro. That's how they institutionalize kids, bro. And young kids, especially, because our brain's not even, that's why all this LGBTQ stuff in the schools, bro. Like, I don't care if you want to be gay, please be gay. If you want to be homosexual, please be homosexual. Like, if you want to do this, do that, whatever, like, more great for you. But, like, my child is not just going to go to school and just listen to she needs to tell you to call her he, her, whatever it may be. Like, what, bro? Like,
no need for that.
What are we talking about, yo? Like, what are we actually talking about, though? Like, that makes no sense. And that's why I'm homeschooling her, to keep her out of all of that. Not even just that, bro. It's just like, we are teaching our kids even worse shit than they taught us, bro. And it's just, you see how fucked up we are right now. And like, imagine if I just keep my child in the same shit that I was going through, and like, and her, like, she's a free mind, bro. She's free spirit. We go to Target, bro. She's like, Daddy, is that poison? I'm like, yep. Daddy, is that poison? I'm like, yep, that's poison too. Like, you look in there, everything you eat in there is damn poison.
Yeah.
Just, bro, it's on such a deep level, bro. And like, I appreciate y'all for having me on this and being able to just, rap, because this is, I hope that people resonate and just start to really try to tap into themselves, man, because it's really you. It's you. Been you the whole time. Been you the whole time, bro. It's nobody else, bro. It's you, bro. Nobody's coming to save us, bro. Nobody's coming to save you, bro. It's you, bro. It is you. It is us, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's me, bro. Like, it is the decision right here, right now. It's not that. It's not that. It's right here, right now, bro. It's love, bro. It's, you need a answer to something. Just follow your heart and know it's love, bro. Every single time, bro. Every single time, it leads you in the right direction.
And I appreciate you for sharing this, because this is powerful, right? These are the conversations that people need to have, especially men. Men are afraid to have these conversations. It's more like, oh, what you think about that? Or what you think about that girl and this girl? And it really is we're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or some sort of a social media that they're using just to be distracted at all times. A lot of people just aren't mindful. I like reading books about the brain, being mindful, being present, and things of that nature. Now, before I do let you go, I did want to talk to you a little bit about football. So this ayahuasca helped with the 13 seconds or not?
You fucking right, it did. That shit is past, bro. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's real.
That was a tough time right there.
Sure was. Sure was.
It's obviously, the Chiefs has done a lot of incredible work. Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, and I try to tell people all the time, sports is more than just one side of the ball or one player. And everybody always says it's, you know, they always have their person to blame. And usually it's the people that have never played sports, like myself,
Absolutely.
right? But I learned a long time ago just to kind of like let it go. There's no reason for me to try to figure it out because it's a collective. There's injuries, you know, things that happen all over the place that people can and cannot see. You know, you're sharing some of those things today, like some of the things you're going through that you're not always going to be present on game day. You know, and sometimes, you know, we had Brandon Marshall here, and Brandon Marshall's like, a lot of people will look at the quarterbacks and just blame the quarterbacks all the time, but they're not knowing that the wide receiver's actually running the wrong route,
Right.
you know, or messed up the route because they don't know how to run the route. So they took 2 extra steps. It's an interception. They're like, oh, this quarterback sucks. And really, they just don't got they don't have the wide receivers, you know.
Right.
It's like, damn, that's a different way to look at it. But when you do look back at that 13 seconds, do you blame yourself or blame the team or anything for that?
You know, it was a combination of just like a lot of things, and then like feel the shit ball start rolling almost like just slowly down the hill, like, you know, and you want to stop it. You want to try to make a glitch in it. You want to try to shake something up in it. And just, you know, there's a scene in the movie Replacements where Keanu Reeves talks about quicksand. And I don't know if y'all remember that scene where he talks about, you know, the harder, you know, you're in a game and, you know, everything's going your way. And then all of a sudden you basically get hit in the mouth. And like, you know, the harder you try to get out of the, you know, now you get hit in the mouth and you're in quicksand. And the harder you try to get out, the deeper you sink. And that almost just seemed like that whole situation from, you know, from getting the ball back with that much time, like without squibbing the ball, and then you give up a freaking screen that goes 30 yards down the field to Tyreek, and you know, we're just playing soft zone, and you could look back and you look at the NFL films and you just see really how much more like connected and I mean just they were just way better than us in that time, in that moment. Like they've been there before. They, you know, it was so subtle between Kelsey and Travis to just take a step inside and see the defense that we were playing, which, you know, I still don't understand the defense that was really necessarily called in that time either, but we're playing it. And, you know, they make a check and run a little bang skinny post right over the middle where there's no defenders, and now they have time to kick a field goal, and then it's just like started rolling, and you just couldn't stop it, bro. And it was, you know, it was one of those that was hard to swallow, but I definitely put that in my back pocket to just
So like the way I viewed it, right? Again, I'm not in the game, so I can't really call it, but I feel like Leslie Frazier played those types of defenses often. So that's kind of how I viewed it. I don't know if I'm tripping by thinking that because, you know, obviously there's McDermott out there. I don't know who's really calling the plays.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can point fingers here and there and elsewhere, man. It was honestly it was just an entire operation. There's really not one finger that you can point at all because it was just the entire end of our game operation that wasn't good enough. It wasn't, to be honest, it might not have been good enough to be one of the top colleges in the country at that time. Just the way that happened, right? I mean, that just shouldn't happen. You know, and then we all made mistakes in that moment. And again, there shouldn't be one person to blame or the other. Like I take ownership in making mistakes in those moments, and everybody made mistakes in those moments, and that was just the better team then. They've been the better team for the most part of the last couple of years. Obviously, we beat them a couple of times in the regular season, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, you know, that's a very connected team. And you talk about like being one. That's how teams win championships is being that one nucleus, being on that same sheet of music, and you know, and understanding the polarity, you know, being able to handle, you know, you're going to be good. That swing is going to shift. And it's knowing that the swing is shifting, is being aware that the swing is shifting and allowing yourself to say, okay, the swing is shifting. Now let's swing the shift back. Let's not panic. Let's not move our minds in a fucking frenzy. You know, it's swinging back, and so you're like, oh shit, it's fucking swinging back. Oh, what the fuck we do? Oh shit. No, like, hey, It's swinging.
Yeah.
Like, we got it. We good. You know, collectively. Like, let's go. We good. We feel it. That's what they've done well. They've been able to feel that momentum shift, and then when they swing back, like when they see that momentum and they see it shifting back, when they swing back, it only swings back higher. So they fucking taking off now. I'm just leaving your ass in the dust.
Yeah.
So
now when I watch our games, I see, you know, the three cornerstones for me on defense: Matt Milano, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer. When I'm watching the game, I know that if one of these guys are missing, you know, we're like, it to me, it's like there's command missing. I don't know how many other voices again are in the locker room. No Hyde, no Poyer. Right, you're in there as a veteran, leading a group of guys in that locker room that inevitably become the replacement. Right, is that tough for you, knowing that, like, this is kind of you're almost like training your replacement out there?
Oh no, absolutely not. I never saw it like that. You know, it's not, and it shouldn't be like that, right? Like, you know, I'm here playing a game that I love, and I understand this is a business, and like, moves are gonna be made, but like, me and Taylor, I'm so thankful that he came and was on that team for the year, and the ability, his trust in me, and I mean, bro, by the end of the year, we were in the meditation room playing sound bowls together. Like, we got tapped in together on a deep, deep level of, you know, understanding through frequencies and vibrations and meditation. And like, he was very interested in all of that. And so I just planting the seeds, and he came in one day, heard me playing the bowls, and wanted to sit in. So like, bro, me and him, man, it's been cool to get to know him, and I'm super thankful, or I'm super happy for him and his family to be there in Buffalo, and you know, and essentially, you know, it's his job, it's his opportunity, and again, you know, he's gonna do whatever he wants to do with it, and I know he's gonna be successful. And you got a great player who's got, you know, nose for the rock. He likes to find the rock and likes to hit. You know, I hope he does an amazing job over there. And if you ever had any questions besides when you play him, it's like, I'm all ears. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all ears.
Yeah, and for me, again, the reason I was mentioning that is because I'm, as a fan, fearful. Like, this was the thing I told you. This is the part that scared me. I'm watching it when we're playing Miami. If Jordan Poyer doesn't play, I don't think we're winning, right? And we didn't. It was just that simple. You didn't play, we didn't win. And, you know, like, the fans are talking shit to me, and I'm like, are you cool? You can't talk shit because Poyer wasn't out there, so I'm not even going to listen to you. You know what I mean? I'm at the stadium walking home. You know what I mean? Well, what do you guys, what are we going to do here? You guys want a regular season game early in the year. What do you want? Like, is there confetti that you guys want to drop from the stands or whatever? Like, come on. Just wait till Poyer's back out there. We'll see how the game is. You know, now you're on the other side. Can you see this Bills defense, because you guys had a hell of a lot of injuries last year, still were able to keep it together. Like, you guys did a hell of a job for all the injuries that you had to overcome, to be able to go in there into the playoffs. You know, whether it doesn't matter where you're playing Kansas City at. That's a tough game. Yeah. And to be able to go into the playoffs with that type of an injured staff, still keep it, like, I mean, you guys played great defensively, you know, and then you're gone. Can you see this defense? Obviously, you're on the other side, you know, you're on the ops, but can you see this defense getting back to that place this year, or is it going to take a few years to rebuild from losing you? You could talk your shit too.
That's a tricky question.
Look, they got great players over there. They always bring in good guys and good players, good solid football players. And so really it comes down to the voices in that locker room, the leaders in that locker room, and motivating everybody to keep the train going. You know, they still have Josh Allen, obviously the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the game.
Oh, you could say it if you want to. You know?
One of the best quarterbacks in the game. And when you have him, you got a chance to win anytime, right? And so now a lot of pressure is going to get put on that defense, which is pressure builds diamonds. So it's like, look, what type of defense are we going to be? You know, are we going to get the ball back to Josh like early? Or are we going to be a bend but don't break? But we need to establish an identity of who we're going to be and like how we're going to work together. So like if they decide to come in and work together and learn that defense, you know, because they're going to have a lot of new faces, 2 new safeties, essentially Russell Douglas, new corner, and maybe CB. The other
you're
corner,
off screen a little bit, off center.
My fault. I was H myself. And then you got, you know, TB still at line, still at Mike, and, you know, all pro Matt Milano coming back, BQ coming back. You know, you got the pieces. It's gonna be work again, and you know, you're gonna have 2 new voices back there, which I'll be interested to see how it plays out. You know, like I said, I hope it plays out for the best, but I know that it's very extremely hard to communicate that defense the way Sean wants it played, the way Bobby wants it played. And so communication is key. And Mike and I put a lot of years and a lot of time into creating that and molding that position to how it was and making it successful. So we'll see how the newer guys come in and make it shake.
Now, lastly, welcome to Miami again.
Yeah,
you know,
I
know you live out here.
I appreciate it, bro.
But what are your expectations for this year, and what is it going to be like? You know, lining up opposite Tua and Tyreek. You know, you got a hell of a roster there on the offense that you're going to be lining up against.
Man, I can't wait just to, you know, just like I said, just a fresh start, right? Just a make new friendships, connect more, play football in some sunny weather, bro. Like, I mean, 25 minutes from the crib, bro. Like, I mean, I can't, you can say what you want about my contract, bro. Like, I played 12 years in the league. Like, I really want to enjoy playing football again. And like, not saying I didn't, but like, I know I have some more in me to where I feel like I was getting drained a lot in Buffalo just by the way, like I said, being in a bubble, being stuck at home, not being able to disconnect from football through the middle of the season. It's like, it all takes a toll, especially 7 years. It takes a toll, but it's almost like a new light. You know, it's a new opportunities, new excitement. I'm excited for it. You know, this team hasn't won a playoff game in X amount of years too. It was saying the same thing about the Bills when I went there in 2017. So you imagine we won a playoff game this year, just a playoff game, like. I might go down in history, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Let's go.
Might go down in history, bro. It'd be crazy, man. So why not, bro? Why not go out here and just enjoy every moment, bro? Go play the game that I love. You know, I'm gonna see the shit talking. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. I really don't care, bro. I'm enjoying my life the way I want it to. I got a beautiful family, beautiful daughter, bro. I'm blessed as hell, bro. I got a bunch of people that love me, man, and I just like sharing the word, bro. I like being here talking to y'all about some real shit. I like talking real shit, bro. And this is the type of shit that's gonna change the world, bro. Just keep planting the seeds, man, and keep being light. That's it, bro.
We appreciate you, and on behalf of the entire city of Buffalo, for the real fans that are out there, we appreciate all the memories that you gave us. You know what I mean? You put us back on the map. You know, so like we're grateful for you forever. You know, again, appreciate you for joining us here on the Danza Project.
Hey.
You know, this is a great conversation. I'm gonna walk out, talk to my girl, and be like, all right, listen, I gotta leave town for a few days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, appreciate the advocacy, man. The advocacy of just the knowledge, and we ain't gonna keep you here much longer. But just when people see someone like yourself jump into that lane and speak about it confidently and positively, it does a lot for people. I guarantee somebody, and I hope somebody who's watching this tries it because they saw this. You know what I mean? On top of the documentary and things like that. So thank you for that as well, bro.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all boys for having me on, man. Y'all keep going, man. Peace, love, and light always. And I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right, talk to you soon. Be safe.
Yeah, be good.
Fly.
Woo. That was a dope ass conversation right there. That for me,
we could have went for more, man.
Absolutely,
you got a lot to say, man.
I'll be honest. I'm just grateful for the time that he did give us because you know when we sat down originally, you know it took us a while to get the stream going the right way as we wanted it to. It was a little bit difficult because you know this isn't something that we normally do. Everybody is in house, but we did have you know our sports show with Nate Burles and. You know, having Matt up here. Shout out to Matt, man. I was hoping that Matt could get up here for a little bit today. He was out busy. You know, my man's got work he's got to do and shit like that. So he was gonna call in as well. But you know, to have a conversation with him and him to sit with us. You know, originally it was just agreed, you know, we're going to sit down for 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We didn't go on until 9:30, 9:40. I know the people were waiting, and thank you to everybody that sat by waiting. But,
yeah, for sure.
you know, for you, I know it's like, you know, it's like you don't know about that Buffalo Bills story. You know what I'm saying? You do from being here and listening into a lot of conversations.
I have a glimpse, yeah.
But, I mean, I didn't imagine. I knew that we would talk about it, right? I knew that we would sit there and have the conversation about the ayahuasca and the retreat. I didn't expect to be that tapped in. You know, it's like when we had Charleston White here, and he's having a conversation with us for the first time, to be able to tap into that. And Landon, if you could drag the chats into the screen, please. But that was pretty cool, man. I definitely,
man. I honestly feel like we had a lot more to get to, you know, family life and sobriety. And I wanted to ask him, which if he's still in here, you know, whatever, I wanted to ask him how sobriety and his newfound use for this tool, this medicine, how that comes into play.
Yeah.
Right? Because people do call it a drug. People do consider it getting high.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what the league thinks about it, yeah.
Not just the league, but as far as sobriety, and anybody who's sober can attest to this, anytime, if you smoke a cigarette, they look at you like,
yeah.
If you drink too much Red Bull, they're like, you're flying close to the sun. If you smoke vapes, you know, this is through sobriety, not even hard drugs. They kind of look at you like, hey, man, don't get too close to the sun. So I wonder how his experience with ayahuasca meets sobriety in the middle. I think he would have had a lot to say about that.
He definitely would have. And you know, this is something that we could obviously, you know, all the relationships that we've built in this podcast.
We got to go to the game.
Yeah.
We got to do it.
I know, well, we definitely got to go to the game. I mean, I had to troll a little bit and get my Buffalo gear on. You know, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to go sit there in no regular T-shirt. I'm going to wear some Buffalo stuff.
Yeah, you had to
talk a little bit, you feel me? But honestly, like, I walk away even more impressed than I was. You know, my little sister just texted me saying, you know damn well I don't watch football, but that conversation was amazing. It was deep. It was a great conversation. So it's cool. And then knowing all the people that were sitting here watching us from Buffalo, and the people that have yet to watch, right? Because it's late for a lot of people. You know, they're getting ready for work and things of that nature back home in Buffalo, especially. But also amazing to hear him talk about, you know, it being a small city and what that felt like for him.
Yeah.
Because I did hear Rex Ryan, who was one of our former coaches. I was at LA Fitness. I'm in the sauna in Hamburg, right near the stadium. He walks in, and, you know, everybody, oh, Rex. And he's like, man, he's a very outspoken character, real loud. And he's like, I never experienced anything like it. I'm a celebrity here. Yeah. He goes, anywhere else, I'm a football player, football coach. I could go sit down at a restaurant, and nobody knows who the hell I am. He goes, in Baltimore, nobody knew who the hell I was. In New York, nobody knew who the hell I was. Out in the big city, you know, New York City. He's like, nobody knew who the hell I was, so I could drive down the street. Nobody's chasing me down. Nobody wants to talk to me. There's nobody heckling me. He goes, I come to Buffalo. And, I mean, these fans are the greatest thing ever. He's like anything I do wrong, I got to hear about it. Yeah, anytime I have a good week, I get to hear about it. You know, I go to a restaurant, Mr. Ryan, come here, sit down. You know, they're pulling out the chair. They're bringing everybody out. Can I get an autograph? He goes, I never got asked for an autograph back in Baltimore and New York. I get asked for autographs out here on a day-to-day basis when I'm outside. So it was amazing to hear him speak about what it made him feel like being in Buffalo, in a small city, and dealing with that, because it's true. Yeah. You know, you got to think about the humans and what they're feeling like when they're going to the store, right? I've been telling you this. I get nervous about that, right? I did music, and I thought I was going to be some famous rapper, right? And early on, my fear was, would I be okay not being able to be me? You know, like, would I be okay if I went to a convenience store and everybody's hounding me? Like, hey, you know, like, am I going to be okay? Because I got a temper. Everybody that knows me, especially back home, knows I got a temper. So am I going to be able to contain that? Or am I going to turn into Kanye West? Right? Because I don't want anybody taking pictures of me. I'm having a bad day. I'm probably going to be out loud. Word. You know, hey, I'm having a bad day. Please get the fuck away from me. Please get your cameras away from me, you know? And then any flaw, any mistake you make, magnified. Right? I mean, I'm dealing with it now, like literally, you know? And so these things are going to happen, right? And to see that, how he feels, was big.
Word from the man himself too. It's crazy, man. It's that's what I was trying to kind of touch on briefly without just exposing the man. Because like sometimes when somebody's healed, you don't necessarily want to harp on those strings. I'm not into the cheap shit, but that's what I was saying. Like, not only is he a public person, a popular public person, but his wife is also a popular public person. And you put those two people together, now you have kids, and now your kids are popular public people. And it's like, goddamn, the world that is so big, and now you have all this money, you can do all these things, but in actuality, you can't go to the store. You can't just take regular trips. You can't just fly in economy anymore. Like, you can't be seen in a lackluster outfit or without your chains and shit. You gotta, it's different. You gotta kind of, I don't know.
It's like you're always performing.
Always have to be on, which sucks, especially if you're dealing with these suppressed issues and whatever trauma he went through and experienced, whatever addictions he might have experienced. I got to go through that part in front of y'all. I got to do the healing even in front of y'all. Like, damn, when do I get time for me? When do I get time to be just Mr. Poyer, right?
Yeah.
That's tough. That's not good. It's not healthy.
And it's amazing to hear how the ayahuasca actually does help him with all that, and listening to him speak about how it's helped his family, you know, and just himself as an individual, right? Because you got to understand that the people that are dealing with things like this, like, they keep it to themselves, right? It's because you can't really open up and communicate with everybody about that without them thinking that, oh, well, this person's this
He's
and this
crazy,
person's that.
he's weak, he's sick, something like that.
And so it's pretty amazing. I absolutely walk away with a newfound respect, and I already respected the guy, right?
Yeah.
But I walk away with a newfound respect because that was amazing, you know. And I also appreciate everybody that tuned in. You know, obviously, I see my family in here, my brother,
Shout out to the
sisters
fam.
in here, you know, like,
Who's in here? If y'all in here, check in, man. Drop a
that's always
emoji.
dope.
Drop a sub.
Drop a little money in the super chats. Go
Drop
ahead.
that too.
Jeff R, I'm sorry I missed your super chat. I'll send that money back to you. I feel like when I miss a super chat, like I'm like, damn, I messed up. Awesome. I messed up a good opportunity there. But we've yet to interview an active athlete in one of those sports, right? Like football, basketball, hockey, baseball, one of those four major sports. We have to interview an active player from the sport. You know,
Burleson would be like the closest.
Yeah,
just because he's actively working. But
and you know, because we sat down with Brandon Marshall, Ricky Williams, Edgerrin James, Channing Crowder, Steven Jackson for the NBA, and we sat down with boxers that are active with Rolly Romero, Adrian Broner, Devin Haney. So we were able to get some of that across, but you know, it's a different move dealing with an active athlete, somebody back home from Buffalo, which is, by the way, something that we're going to be doing more of. It's not this is just the beginning of this. You know, shout out to Landon, getting everything set up for us on the boards. Parks on the boards. But
I think you were actually the perfect fit for this type of interview, and I really wish we could have done it in person for the full experience.
Yeah.
But you're the guy. You're the guy who moved from Buffalo to Miami, still loving Buff, still loving Miami, and he just took the trip from Buff to Miami. I didn't know he was released. I didn't know that part, but you who better than the Danza Project? Because now he can also relay a message to Buffalo and say, yo, all the time that I was there, although I might have been going through this, I fuck with y'all. I appreciate my time there. I enjoyed my time there. You know, I learned a lot. Even you know, whatever else happened, but that's a perfect channel for him to do that.
Absolutely.
You know?
And we appreciate everybody for bearing with us while we had some audio issues there that we had to get fixed up. You know, just it's a learning process for us as well, doing these types of interviews. But yeah, I feel like being from Buffalo obviously made it easier. But I tell you what, our natural interview process and doing that same thing with an active athlete and not forcing them to talk about just sports is what is important, because I always say, like, and this is something that you and I always speak about. We like getting to know an individual.
Word.
Versus all the other stuff. Like there's all the outside noise. Hey, well, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to that and you're supposed to press them about this, but that's not what we care about. Right. Like I'm here for the fans that are sending in the super chats that want to talk about certain things. But more importantly, we wanted to introduce you to Jordan Poyer, the human, the higher being, right? Like we wanted you to get to know Jordan Poyer through Jordan Poyer's eyes, not through ESPN. Not through ESPN and everything that you're seeing on all these social media sites. It's tough. You got to understand that, and that's what we set out to do from the beginning. We've never veered away from this path, no matter how many times people have said, Kelsey's your worst interview ever. It was so boring. Well, we gave you who Kelsey is, and if that's who you found boring, by all means, you're entitled to your own opinion. Yeah. But we want to make sure that you guys are always able to tap in and listen to the individual. And if it's something, sometimes they only want to talk about music or they only want to talk about sports or, certain things that they don't want to tell us all their 38 nicknames, whatever it is, right? Like, it's always different, and it's always something that you guys are learning at the same time that we are. We're not on a different wavelength than you. We didn't sit down with these people for 10 hours prior. Only the recurring guests, right? Like only the Benzinos, the Charleston Whites. The people that we've had up here several times are people that we had a conversation with prior. But even then, it's like we don't know what the hell's about to happen when they come up. It's not scripted. There's literally, if Landon could have showed you the full room right now, there's nothing in front of us. There's nothing in front of us but a table, the remote for the AC, some fake microphones, and a Snapple. Like it's how we conduct ourselves, and we appreciate everybody that signs in and day out. We hope that you like. We hope that you subscribe. Yeah. We hope that you press that share button. Now. We hope that you take some ayahuasca. Like all that cool shit. But again, we appreciate you for tapping in to the Danza Project. This has been season 2, episode 3. Of the Danza Project. Landon, I can hear you in there.
Yeah.
I hear you over there. He's ready to talk. Any final words for the people?
Yes.
You know what?
Smoke DMT.
Smoke some DMT.
I was talking to Chris, not you, Landon. You're next.
I got a personal favor, man. I need people to share this. I need people to get us in front of other people. If you think somebody would appreciate what we're talking about and what we do and the questions that we ask, share it with somebody. Show it to somebody. Post it on your story. Screenshot it. Tag us so we can reshare it and show people that you saw however we got to do it. We need to get the word out. I feel like we're really good at what we do, and obviously we're getting better show by show, but we're just not in front. We got fans that we haven't been in front of yet. Put it like that. There's people that would fuck with this and people that can learn from this type of shit that we're just not in front of yet. And I want to reach as many people as possible, especially when we're having conversations about mental health and physical well-being and mentality and how to not get buried by life's biggest challenges and all that kind of, that's my shit right there. So get that shit in front of other people if you enjoyed it. And even if you didn't, repost it, share it, send it to somebody, and that's it. That's my request.
And Landon, you got any final thoughts about that show? I know you love that show.
No, I mean, smoke DMT.
Smoke DMT.
Hey, listen, tomorrow night, we are not done. Tonight's not the only night. Tomorrow night, we keeping it 716. We keeping it Buffalo, 55th Street. You heard?
Hello.
We got Destiny Fox in the building. For those of you that might not know who Destiny Fox is. All right. That's Freddie Gibbs' ex. She was out at Dinosaur Barbecue with the fam. You heard? But yeah, she's coming up here. Shout out to Benny the Butcher. We seen it with the chain today, the BSF chain yesterday. So we're keeping it Buffalo with that one. She'll be up here tomorrow night.
That's gonna be fun.
We got a series of interviews coming out. You know what I mean? We got some. We're keeping our
so look. That's another thing that
keeping
people
our
need
foot
to know.
down. You know what I mean?
That's another thing people need to know. You never know who's gonna show up here. We don't promote shows before they happen too much. You literally are finding out after it happened if you're not catching it live. So you got to turn on the notifications. You got to hit the subscribe and like button. This is the only way you'll know about things that are happening as they're happening. We don't always get to promote the people that are going to be here because we're doing live shows.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't want people to know where they're at. So if you want to stay in tune with what's going on, you got to hit that like button, got to hit the notifications button, or else you're going to miss out. You're going to be 10 steps behind. You'll find out about it on Shade Room after the shit already happened.
Yeah, and you could be here live with us talking in the room. You know, sometimes, so you know, we're always going to look out for our members, the people that join up as a member onto YouTube. So you're always going to get exclusive access to be able to ask questions. You know, we're always monitoring everything. You got Landon on the ones and twos. You got Brad. That's always paying attention to what's going on in there. Nova's always paying attention. Fred. So we got a whole team of people that are paying attention. Again, Jeff R., we apologize for not getting to your question. Yeah. But, you know, this is something that, you know, what you guys really don't know is, you know, when people say foolish things like, oh, well, you know, they never should have had this person up here because this person will never come. That person's already on the way. You know what I mean? This is already an understanding. Like there's some people that are on the way here right now that you're gonna be like, how did they get her?
Hello.
You know, how did they get him? And I promise you, it's we already knew this was coming months in advance. You know, so like it's, you know, the only other people that really know is just the team and then the fam, and that's really it. So we got a lot of big things coming your way. Also, if you don't catch us on YouTube, make sure that you are all the time, and you can't get the notifications, head over to the Instagram, you know, Instagram at the Danza Project, and you could be able to get all the news there. I'm always talking to the people. We're always going live, connecting with our fan base, talking to the people. And you also have an opportunity to jump on the live and discuss any one of the shows that we ever do. I'll probably be hopping on IG Live tonight, so if anybody wants to hop on there and talk about the, you know, the interview that we just did with Jordan Poyer today, feel free to. And again, we just appreciate you greatly. Like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on, and just you know, keep rocking with us.
Let's go.
Landon, we can sign off here.
Alrighty.
Let's
Good night, y'all.
You.
Peace.
And what do you say? Smoke DMT.
Smoke DMT.